What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Switch Podcast, man. I'm your host, Q1 Humphreys. And last night was the night that the 24-25 NBA season started. We had two games, a doubleheader. First game was the Boston Celtics hosting the New York Knicks in what is a potential Eastern Conference Finals preview. And the second game, we had the Los Angeles Lakers hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. So looking at the first game, we got the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics defeated the New York Knicks 132-109, and it was a rout, man. It was an absolute blowout from the opening tip-off, and it was crazy because the Boston Celtics could not miss. They could not miss. They went on to hit 29 threes, which ties the NBA record for the most threes made in a single game. And the crazy thing about it isn't even the fact that they made 29 threes. It's the fact that they made 29 threes with like 9 minutes to go in the game. So the last 9 minutes of the game was them just chucking up threes trying to break the record. So they couldn't hit one, which was crazy enough. After making all them threes for the first half, they literally could not make one at all. I think they were shooting 60% from three at one point, but by the end of the game, it was around 50%. But I want to talk about Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum heard the talk. He's been getting disrespected, ridiculed from analysts, from Steve Kerr, the Olympic team, from everybody. He's been ridiculed, and he said, fine. My jump shot has been broken for the past season. I haven't been shooting efficiently. That word came out that he went with his trainer, Drew Hanlon. He was putting in 2 a days, putting in work in it for his jump shot. And we saw it in full display tonight. He came out there, dropped 37 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, hit 8 threes. Oh my goodness. He went 8 for 11 from the 3-point line, 14 for 18 from the field. Very efficient, very dominant game. And I think, I looked at how he came into the game, how he played. He played very aggressive. He wasn't on no play-in. He was getting to a bucket every single time. And you could just tell he was motivated. And I think that's scary for the rest of the league. A motivated Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is not just motivated, but he's honing in. He's tuning his skills. This is nasty, man. Derek White, he also finished 24 points on the game, hit 6 threes. Jaylen Brown had 23 points. Drew Holiday poured in 16 points of his own. It was just an all-around dominant performance by the Celtics. Defensively, they were really good. Offensively, they were historic offensively. And I just think, you don't crown a champion opening night, but they're looking like they may go back-to-back. I don't even think this is an exaggeration. I think coming into the year, we knew, okay, I said it last year, the East runs through the Celtics. And with them being this good, and they don't even got Porzingis back, oh my goodness. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for the rest of the league. And all you can do is pray. Pray or get better, because the Celtics look really good. Looking at the other team on this match, New York Knicks, man, like I said, they were down a lot the whole game. So these stats, you really can't really take with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Recognize, okay, these guys didn't play most of the fourth quarter. But let's just talk about what they did. Jalen Brunson finished 22 points in the game. He started out 7 for 7. He looked like Jalen Brunson last year. He looked like he ain't missing a beat. He looked like he's just picking up from where he finished off last year. So I think he'll be fine. Miles McBride off the bench. He looked really good. 22 points off the bench, 4 for 5 from 3-point line, 8 for 10 from the field. He's going to be a big piece in replacing what they lost in Dante DiVincenzo at the guard position. We saw a lot of him and Cam Payne playing together off the bench. I don't know how much Cam Payne plays as the season progresses, but Miles McBride being that defender and scorer and spark off the bench could somewhat replicate what Dante DiVincenzo did last year. But I think replacing Dante and ultimately replacing Julius Randle is going to come down to the other 3 guys that I'm about to name. OG Anunoby had a relatively quiet game. Didn't do much. Karl Anthony Towns, his debut with this team, 12.7 rebounds. Didn't do much. Like I said, he didn't play most of the fourth quarter, so you really can't really look at the totals, but you got to look at his impact, and his impact was not that good. Defensively, he cannot be an anchor of your defense. Minnesota saw it. That's why they went and got Gobert. And I think the Knicks are going to see it. I think we may see some double big lineup with Mitchell Robinson and playing Cat at the 4 and then just figuring out what you're going to do with the 2 wings beside Brunson. But I think that may be the best way to do it, because The Celtics they attacked Towns. They attacked Towns literally every chance they could. They attacked him. They put him in a pick and roll and they went at him. You know what I'm saying? He's not a rim protector. He's not a guy that you can count on to be the anchor of your defense. Mikal Bridges, I'm sorry. And this is probably the biggest story around, well, besides Bronny and LeBron, around NBA Twitter. Mikal Bridges' jump shot. It is not the same as it looked last season in Brooklyn. And it was broken preseason. And he started out this game broke too. But it's like, man, what happened? It's like somebody in New York, not Brooklyn, in New York, said, "Hey, let's work on your shot," and they tweaked it. Like he got a hitch back. It's really ugly. But if he can start knocking them down, then hey, that changes my opinion. But as of right now, he breaking it and it looked bad. But he finished with 16 points. 16 points, 7 for 12 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3. Like I said, he started out bad, started picking it up in the second half, but by then it was too late. So yeah, like I said, the Knicks, they just gotta figure some stuff out. You know, I think a lot of it is they gotta get the chemistry down. And I think that's gonna be the case when you trade your second best player for somebody else, and you really change the entire makeup of your whole team for real, because you lose Dante, who was your second best player in the playoffs, and you lose Randall, who was your second best player on the roster, period. You know, so you have to figure out how everything fits. But I think they'll figure it out. It's only game one. There's 81 games left, you know, so they have plenty of time to learn each other and learn what works best for them. Looking at the second game of this matchup, we got the Los Angeles Lakers defeating the Minnesota Timberwolves 110-103. This was the Anthony Davis game. This is the Anthony Davis show, and I think it's just so big that he had a game like this opening night, because like the Lakers don't win an opening night. The Lakers haven't won an opening night game since I think they said 2017, 2016. And I think the opening night game they won was with D'Angelo Russell and Jordan Clarkson against the Houston Rockets. And the fact that I remember that is crazy, but that's literally how it was. You know what I'm saying? But Anthony Davis, 36 points and 16 rebounds. He was a man amongst boys last night. And, you know, it made me think like, okay, if we can get this AD, or maybe a little lesser version of this AD for the entire season healthy, the Lakers might legit have a shot to do something. Because the big thing that I see LeBron has to go playoff mode in March to will this team to the playoffs. If AD can step up and be that guy, then Bron can kind of chill. He can vibe, you know what I'm saying? And then once the playoffs hit, then he can go full throttle. And that is when you can get the best LeBron. You don't want LeBron to have to push the pedal to the metal midway through the season. You want him to do it in the playoffs because he's old. He's still great, but he's 40. He got a kid in the league now. He's 40, you know? And, you know, Father Time, he went in Father Time, but Father Time getting up off that mat. You know what I'm saying? So if AD can be this guy, because you got to think about it, we've been waiting for AD to take over since the bubble. Since the year after the bubble, we've been waiting for Anthony Davis to take over and be the man for this Lakers team. And if he can step up and be that this season, I'm really liking what Lakers got going. Because look at the guys tonight. Rui Hachimura, arguably the second best player on the team tonight. He played the second best to me tonight. Rui Hachimura had 18 points. And it's just like, well, LeBron played the second best. But Rui Hachimura had 18 points. And he started out really hot. He was hitting threes, playing defense, attacking the basket. He did everything he had to do. And if he can keep this level of play up, then the Lakers will be good. It's just all about, can the Lakers be consistent? Can they be consistent? Rui Hachimura, the year they made the conference finals, everybody started clicking at the right time. Rui was good. D'Lo was good. AR was good. Brown was good. AD was good. If they can find it, if they can get it to click again, they can really make something shake in the Western Conference. I really do believe that. Looking at some other guys, LeBron had 16 points. AR had 12 points. Rui had 18 points, like I said. D'Lo only had 9. He had 5 assists. Let's adjust the elephant in the room. LeBron and Bronny, they shared the floor for about 3 minutes late in the second quarter. it was, really, really good to see. Bronny didn't score. He went 0 for 2 from the field. His first shot attempt was a block put back by Rudy Gobert. His second was a three that it looked online, but it just missed, So, but really cool to see LeBron and Bronny on the floor together, No matter what we believe about whether Bronny, I keep saying LeBron, I guess his name is LeBron though, whether Bronny should have that spot over somebody else, that's whatever. He's in the league now. When I'm just happy to see, a young guy achieving his dream. You know what I'm saying? Achieving his dream and playing along his father. Both of them living out their dreams, and it's just good to see. Even with everything that happened last year at USC. Looking at Minnesota, Anthony Edwards had 27 points, 10 for 25 from the field, man. And I'm watching the game. I'm thinking, man, not even this game. The preseason game against the Bulls, Ant is on his Kobe, man. He on his Kobe this year, man. When I say he's on his Kobe, I mean he telling his guys get the ball off the rebound. You want the ball? Get it off my board, or you better do something. Because if I get this rock, I ain't coming up off it. And you can tell, Ant had 25 shots. The next closest Timberwolves that had the most shots was 11, and that's Dante DiVincenzo off the bench. Julius Randle had 16 points, 5 for 10 from the field. I just think the Timberwolves have to figure out this chemistry thing, but I don't think it's on Ant. I think it's on Chris Finch. I think it's on Mike Conley, because Mike Conley has to be that veteran point guard that's going to make sure everybody gets involved. That's how you keep a team together. Because, Julius Randle, if he's not getting his shots, he's going to start pouting. He's going to start, groaning, And that's going to mess up your team ultimately, So I think it's up to Chris Finch and Mike Conley, who did not do much tonight. He didn't take a shot in the first half. But when they started coming back, because the game did get somewhat close. It was all Lakers majority of the game, but it got somewhat close in the third quarter. But that was when Mike Conley was running the offense, running the pick and roll with Rudy Gobert, throwing the lobs to him and stuff like that. So I think it's up to him to really do it, because Ant is good, but Ant's not at that level to where he's gonna elevate the rest of his teammates. Ant is gonna be the guy that can. I want to say when you get there, he can take you over the top. But I don't think he's there to where he's gonna elevate his teammates and make everybody else on the floor better, unless it's by they're doubling and then you're wide open. You know what I'm saying? So I think I definitely got to figure that out. Looking at the trade, I know it's game one for both teams, but looking at the trade, for the Knicks, I see the vision. We just got to get there. For the Timberwolves, I don't see the vision. I don't see it. I don't see how Julius. I understand it may have been a money thing, but hey, man, A-Rod's one of the owners. A-Rod, you better go in that luxury tax, man. We just made the conference finals, and you're trading away our second best player, changing the whole menu, the whole infrastructure of our team. They were double big. That's how they beat Jokic. They went double big. Now you don't go double big. You have a Julius Randle who's not bad by no means, but how does he fit with Anthony Edwards? How does he fit with the other guys on this roster? How does he fit with Chris Finch and his coaching style? I don't know. I think Dante's going to fit just fine. Dante's an absolute sniper coming off the bench, 3-and-D off the bench. You put him on any team, he'll help out. But the Julius Randle for Karl-Anthony Towns kind of swap out, I don't understand it. But once again, it is just game one. So there's a lot of season left to see what happens. And we just going to see, man. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share with y'all folks, man. And until next time, we are out of here. Yeah.